To be honest, we'd be thrilled to actually see this come the 7th of April, but for now, we're satisfied with the threats that current UFC Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Cormier, has been spewing Brock Lesnar's way. Now, there's no denying Brock Lesnar's capabilities as a real fighter, with an All-American wrestling background from his college years and a memorable run as UFC Heavyweight Champ. He's literally a beast in the octagon. But Brock's been out of the game for more than 2 years now, and we've been speculating long enough for a comeback. Although, he's been making noise about a potential return since the night of UFC 226, where he stormed into the octagon after Daniel Cormier defeated Stipe Miocic for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. It's still not clear as to when he really plans on returning for good. Since then, Brock Lesnar has kept MMA and wrestling fans guessing if he will ever push through with his plans. Rumors made their rounds that Brock was losing his belt to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania last year, but to everyone's shock at the grandest stage of them all, he retained his Universal Championship that night. With just 2 weeks away from this year's WrestleMania, where Lesnar is scheduled to defend his title against one of Reigns' best friends in the Shield, Seth Rollins, new information is starting to make fans question if Brock will lose his championship this time. Certainly not one to be outdone, Daniel Cormier recently spoke on ESPN about not yet having a match anytime soon. But DC says he's got his eyes on Brock Lesnar, and maybe, just maybe, he'd have to pull one on Brock and cost him his Universal Championship at WrestleMania to make him come back to the UFC so Cormier can beat him here. As much as we'd want this to happen, we should take DC's comments with a grain of salt. Although the UFC's president himself, Dana White, keeps feeding fuel to the fire with him saying just last week that he's hoping to hear from Brock Lesnar this summer. Fingers crossed, we need to see this happen at WrestleMania so the beast can finally be slain and kicked out of the WWE.